Oh! Where am I? Hey guys, welcome back to Vince Gatlin's The Game Chair. I was just about to go to bed. I took a melatonin, so my speech might be kind of slurred because it's starting to kick in. But I was about to go to bed, and a sudden idea hit me, and I decided to do a video because it's the beginning of the month, and I haven't done a video yet, and I didn't even think of an idea. To be perfectly honest, I haven't really been that motivated to do videos lately, but I decided to force myself to do one because I thought of a cool topic that I want to talk about. And the topic today that I would love to discuss is, oh yeah, I got a new blanket my grandma made for me for my birthday. It was my birthday a couple days ago. But the new topic I want to discuss is fixed camera angles and just fixed camera angles and classic survival horror. Whatever happened to fixed camera angles? Whatever happened to, save points and limited saves and all that stuff? Whenever you look at survival horror nowadays, like take Alien Isolation or The Evil Within, which were both great games, in my opinion. When you look at those, I mean, yeah, people consider them survival horror, but when you think about it, what really is survival horror? I mean, I know you have to survive and you have to save resources and stuff, but isn't that pretty much every game? I mean, one thing that I just absolutely adored about the old Resident Evil games were the fact that there were fixed camera angles. I mean, it made the game so artsy in a way. If you think about it, it really added a lot to the fear and the going into the unknown, because you may have control over these characters that you're controlling, but you have no control whatsoever over the camera. You can't move that motherfucker where you want to look, and that's one thing that made it so effective. Is you just the creators of the game cleverly implement these angles, to scare you and to send you into territory you don't know what to expect, A perfect example of how well this was done was in the Resident Evil remake, the one that recently just got remastered for the PlayStation 4 and, whatever, as a digital download. That game had some of the coolest fixed camera angles ever. I mean, a good example would be you're walking down the hallway as Jill Valentine, and the camera shifts, and suddenly you see your character Jill. You see her in the hallway, but the camera is outside of the window, looking at her, almost like some kind of like stalker staring at her through the window. And then around pretty close to that same area, there's one where you walk into a room and the camera's under the bed and all you can see is her feet walking. You're still controlling her and stuff, but you see the feet walking. Fixed camera angles are just a total dead art, aren't they? Like, I feel like that's one thing that really made survival horror games cool back in the 90s. but it's something that kind of just died away. People were complaining about it. People were complaining about fixed camera angles. Um, it just won't stay on, and I don't know what to do to make it stay on. People were complaining about fixed camera angles because they didn't like them. They wanted to control their own camera. And that's understandable because with video games, you know, the player likes to have as much control as possible. But at the same time, these are horror video games we're talking about, you know? And anything you can do to make it a more horrific experience is for the better. And the fixed camera angles, I just don't think people really got them, you know? They didn't really get them. Fixed camera angles, my God. They were super artsy, super, it was like giving a game cinematography all the way through, you know? And it was good cinematography. Like, these Japanese people really knew what they were doing with these games. And whenever I think about it, it gets me pumped. Like, I seriously want to go play some Resident Evil games right now. But I'm not going to because I've been working on Bloodborne. And I really want to finish that before I start on anything else. I think that melatonin is making me delirious. Does melatonin do that? I don't know. But anyway, fixed camera angles and tank controls. I miss tank controls. That might sound crazy because everyone hated tank controls, but I miss them. I love tank controls. And it's just one of those things to where as a gamer, if you just keep playing with it, you're going to eventually get good at it. It was just another challenge. It was just another obstacle to overcome in a video game, where getting used to the tank controls. And I feel like anybody who is anybody who's a hardcore survival horror fan can kind of appreciate that the tank controls really did help complement the fixed camera angles. I tried playing the Resident Evil remaster. I tried playing that with like the new controls that they made for it, the ones that were a little bit more conventional by regular gaming standards, and I really didn't like it that much. I mean, it was okay. It did make the game feel more fluid, but at the same time, it just didn't really feel right to me. So I immediately switched back to the tank controls, because I love me some Resident Evil and some Silent Hill with tank controls. Like, seriously. Another thing, I mean, I know not all survival horror games had fixed camera angles. Resident Evil was like the main one. Silent Hill had a camera that kind of floated behind you, but there were still moments where it was fixed. Same with Fatal Frame. Fatal Frame had some fixed angles, but at the same time, you know, they were always kind of a part of the game, you know, of each one of those series. And I feel like that, you know, it just added so much, even when it wasn't entirely fixed. It's still, even just being partially fixed or whatever, it was still pretty cool. I liked it a lot. Why is it in Fatal Frame, why doesn't your character run very fast? Like, if I was being chased by demonic ghosts, like screaming at me and trying to grab me and brutalize me in any way possible, I'd probably run a little bit faster, but that's beside the point. That's just complete randomness that I thought of just on the moment. Anyway, fixed camera angles. I miss them so bad, and it's nothing we see anymore. I'm hoping, like my friend Brandon said, I'm hoping that maybe indie developers will start implementing them back into video games again one day. I feel like a lot of us older survival horror game fans can appreciate them. And it's just like people wanting to go back to side-scroller games more and more now. I mean, that kind of was a dying art for a while, but now the indie scene is reviving it. I'm sure one day the indie scene will revive tank controls and fixed camera angles in horror games, and I am looking forward to the day that happens. Hell, even the Resident Evil 0 remaster, you know, that might do something. I know the sales for the original remake remaster were pretty good, so maybe people will start requesting that again and start wanting it again, and I really hope so, because I miss me some tank controls. I still love going back and playing some old Resident Evil games and stuff for that reason alone. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of talk about that because that's something that's been kind of riding my mind lately, and I've thought about it before. I just didn't think about making a video. But what are some things in gaming that you kind of miss that doesn't happen anymore? For me, it's tank controls and fixed camera angles, and those are the things I miss. What are some things you miss about games, horror games, or adventure games in general? Because honestly, Final Fantasy VII had some fixed camera angles too, and 8 and 9. You know, a lot of the older Final Fantasy had fixed camera angles. A lot of the ones for the PlayStation 1 era, I do believe. Anyway, you guys, take it easy. I love you. I love all of you, because all you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Ugh.